Welcome back, everybody. Chris here at Digital Asset Connoisseur, and today in the video we're going to take a look at the markets as well as get an update on the Cardano's Vasil Hardfork. We're going to take a look at a story about Peter Schiff's bank in Puerto Rico, and then we're also going to get an update on the Voyager exchange, which is the most recent exchange that appears to be having some insolvency issues. As always, the opinions expressed in this show are my own, are intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing should be taken as financial advice. Make sure you're doing your own research, staying safe. Let's get it. All right, so looking at the market, it's down a little bit from the highs over the weekend. Right now we're hanging out around 900 billion for our market cap. Bitcoin, a little bit of a downtrend today, down about 1.69% at 19,942. We got Ethereum sitting at 1,127, down about 2% on the day. BNB sitting at 231, down just a little bit. XRP holding that number 7 spot in the top 10, 32 cents. Looks like it's down about 1.5% in the last 24 hours. You got Cardano 45%, or 45 cents rather, down about 2.61% on the day. Then we got Solana, $35.41. We're not even going to talk about Dogecoin. Then we got a DOT at $6.81. So you can see kind of a little bit of red, down a little bit from the highs over the weekend. Anytime we have those holiday weekends, sometimes the volume can be a little bit lower, and so you can see it either go up or down. But usually that kind of the following week it'll start to level out a little bit. So we'll see where the markets go from here. Overall, I think macro. Kind of picture-wise for the rest of the year, I think there's going to be some more pain ahead. I think we're going to see probably some cheaper altcoins and probably Bitcoin as well. When that bottom comes, I'm no clue, right? I think anybody that tells you that they do know when it's going to happen is full of themselves, but I think we can all probably take some guesses here and there. Myself, I think sometime in the fall, maybe that October, November timeframe, we'll see kind of around that second peak that we had in that 2021 bull run. But like I said, anyone's guess. So let's take a look at our first story. We have the Cardano Vasil Hardfork update. So this is looking at that hard fork that was originally slated for June, but ended up being delayed or pushed back a little bit. So over the weekend on the 3rd of July, IOG put out a statement saying that they had pushed out the Vasil Hardfork on the testnet, which that's a really important step before they go live on mainnet, giving people an opportunity to make sure everything's running all right, have the stake pool operators kind of mess around with it on the testnet. So very optimistic to see that it did go live on the testnet as far as having a mainnet launch in late July, like they had previously stated. So again, that Vasil Hardfork is going to bring about a lot of different improvements to Cardano. Interoperability between Cardano sidechains, one of the main features that's going to be kind of intended to launch in that current Basho phase, the blockchain's development. With Basho, it's going to be that 4th development phase for Cardano, and it's going to focus on the scaling, and it will be followed up with the Voltaire phase, which is really kind of looking a lot of that governance. So with this Vasil Hardfork, we're going to have those SIPs that are going to be implemented for the developers going forward. And I know there's a couple projects that have really not even been able to launch because they've been waiting for those SIPs before they're able to kind of launch the projects and the dApps that they want on Cardano. So very exciting. We'll have to see how that's going to affect the price. Is it one of those buy the hype, sell the rumors, or buy the hype, sell the news kind of situations, and we'll see a little bit of a dump afterwards, or if it's going to be maybe kind of a rally. I think that for myself, ADA under 50 cents, that's a great opportunity for me to accumulate, but everyone's situation is different. So the second story we're going to look at, so this is actually from Twitter, from Peter Schiff's Twitter, and Peter Schiff's kind of a gold bug investor, big believer in gold, kind of a very against blockchain, Web3, and Bitcoin, which is kind of ironic because from my understanding, his son is very much into Bitcoin. But you can see here he recently had a situation with one of the banks in Puerto Rico that was kind of shut down by the government. So we'll read through this. Despite no evidence of crimes, Puerto Rico regulators closed my bank anyway for net capital issues. I think it's a fancy way of saying, maybe some insolvency, which is something that we're going to talk about on our next story as well. But rather than allow the sale to a highly qualified buyer promising to inject capital far in excess of regulatory minimums, as a result, accounts are frozen and customers may lose money. So accounts are frozen. So people, it sounds like maybe not able to deposit or withdraw. So I'm assuming that means. Second part of the thread, the reason regulators gave for turning down the sale is that post-sale, I would own 4% of the company, buying the bank. They said that due to the bad press about me, they did not want me owning 4% of the bank, even though they know firsthand that the allegations in the media are false. They never let me know. They objected. I found out in CND order to shut down the bank. Had they ever told the 4% stake was a problem, I would have restructured the deal. I was just wanted out. So it sounds like he's, kind of doing some complaining here, some venting about the whole situation. I can't give too much of an opinion on it. I think there's a lot of probably details that are still being ironed out as far as what the regulators saw as issues with that might come to light later. But you can see down below that in that tweet thread, Benjamin Cohen, kind of a well-known personality within the crypto sphere, says gold fixes, and he stops, says, wait, no, Bitcoin fixes this. And what he's alluding to is the permissionlessness of Bitcoin and a lot of the cryptocurrencies. So they're borderless, they are nationless. You can send money to any address on with Bitcoin, regardless of what nation that person is in. They're standing with certain governments, so it is kind of a double-edged sword in that regard, but very interesting kind of use case that it really speaks to for Bitcoin. All right, so our next story is looking at Voyager, which is the latest exchange to really have some issues, and this one looks to be insolvency, similar to the other ones. Celsius. I know there's been a lot of other maybe lesser known exchanges that have been having issues lately. And when we look at it over the last couple of weeks, so it seems to all kind of stem back to the Terra Luna crash. That seemed to be that first domino that created a lot of issues for a lot of different folks in the crypto kind of community. So let's read through here. The crypto exchange, the Voyager Digital, is announcing the halt on all trades, deposits, and withdrawals after one prominent borrower failed to repay their debt. And that borrower that they're talking about is Three Arrows Capital. You can see the failure of the borrower, Three Arrows Capital, to repay a substantial loan from us makes this the right path forward. This decision, while far from optimal, will give us time to work to strengthen our balance sheet, a necessary condition to protect assets and preserve the future of the Voyager platform we built together. So they're saying basically that they've halted withdrawals, deposits, and any kind of reward accrual for the time being until they're able to kind of straighten out some of these issues. And a lot of these issues that they have are directly related to the Three Arrows Capital not being able to pay back a loan. And Three Arrows Capital was heavily invested, from what we know now, in a lot of different kind of what we would consider more risky cryptocurrency plays. One of them being that Terra Luna. It sounds like they were pretty heavily invested there and definitely took a hit. So when Terra Luna went down, affected Three Arrows Capital. Three Arrows Capital couldn't pay back their loans to a lot of different lenders, I imagine, Voyager being one. And so that's kind of led Voyager to this current issue that they're in with their insolvency. It's very sad to see. I'm sure people are going to be hurt by this, that were holding their money on Voyager. But with news like Celsius, Voyager, some of the other exchanges that we've been getting news about insolvency and pausing withdrawals, for myself, I'm not keeping anything on any exchanges, right? You have an on-ramp. If I have an on-ramp that I use, whether that's Coinbase, Crypto.com, whatever it is, you get it and then you transfer it to a self-custodied wallet. That way you don't have to worry about insolvency issues, right? You don't have to worry about Coinbase, Crypto.com saying, hey, we actually don't have your Bitcoin anymore. We, whatever. When you have the custody of it, you're holding it on a hardware wallet, you're holding it on whatever kind of wallet where you have the keys to, you don't have to worry about those kind of issues. So hope you guys enjoyed the update today. You could do me a favor and hit the like button. If you want more content, more kind of news updates about the cryptocurrency, Web3, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell icon so that you're notified when the next video comes out. Until next time.